Greetings students, I am Ms. Kanika Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacy from Ramesh Institute of Vocational and Technical Education, Greater Noida. In the last lecture, we have talked about hospital pharmacy and its organization as well as hospital and its organization. In this lecture, we will talk about adverse drug reaction, what are adverse drug reactions and what are the classifications of adverse drug reactions. So again, in this presentation we will cover what is the introduction and definition of adverse drug reaction as well as what is the classification of adverse drug reactions. Now to understand adverse drug reaction, we have to understand two different terms first. One is adverse event and the other one is adverse drug event. One is adverse event and the other one is adverse drug event. So first we will understand what is adverse event. Now to understand adverse event, it is any untoward medical occurrence. It is any untoward medical occurrence that may present during the treatment with a pharmaceutical product, but which does not necessarily have a causal relationship. So to understand this, any medical occurrence, for example, let us take an example, a patient is is taking antihypertensive medication, right? A patient is hypertensive and he is taking antihypertensive medication. Now he also suffers, he is also suffering from headache. So this headache is a adverse event, right? Though a patient is suffering from headache, so this headache is what? It is a adverse event. Now he is also taking a medication. Which medication is that? That is antihypertensive. That is antihypertensive medication he is taking. But now can we say that this headache is because of that antihypertensive medication? No, we cannot say that. Now this causal relationship has not been established. Now this word, if you can concentrate on this word, this comes from the word cause, C-A-U-S-E, cause. Now this cause has not been established that this headache is because of the antihypertensive medication, and therefore we call this event as an adverse event, right? Now when this causal relationship can be established, now when I can confidently say yes, this headache is because of the antihypertensive medication, then in that case we call it as a adverse drug event. Then in that case we call it as a what? We call it as a adverse drug event, right? So again let us go back once more. We have a medical occurrence, and we have a drug, we have a pharmaceutical component. Now we have a drug, right? For example, we can take that this medical occurrence is what? This medical occurrence is headache, right? And the drug is, for example, it is antihypertensive medication. Now can this relationship be established? Can I say that this medical occurrence is because of that drug? If I cannot say that, then it is an adverse event. If I can say that yes, this headache is because of the antihypertensive medication, then it is called as an adverse drug event. Now there are a number of adverse drug event. For example, we have medication error, we have side effects, and then we have adverse drug reactions. Now adverse drug reaction, which is the main topic of our today's discussion, that is adverse drug reaction. Adverse drug reaction is a type of adverse drug event. It is a type of adverse drug event. Now what can we understand by that? We can say that yes, adverse drug reaction is any medical occurrence because of a drug. It is any medical occurrence because of a drug, and the causal relationship has been established. So that is a adverse drug reaction. Now let us concentrate on the definition. So according to WHO defines adverse drug reaction as a response to a medication. Obviously it is a response to a medication which is noxious. Point number one, which is noxious and unintended. What is noxious? Noxious is anything which causes problem. It is causing issues. It is not the reaction which we wanted. It is unintended. We did not want this reaction, but we are getting this reaction. So that is unintended reaction. Moreover, it is noxious, it is causing issues. So any reaction, it is any response to a medication which is noxious and unintended, right? So these are the 2 points that have to be concentrated here upon: noxious and unintended, followed by, now this is very important when we are talking about adverse drug reaction, is and which occurs at doses normally used in man. These reaction occurs at doses which are normally used. That means if I am taking a drug, let us say, for example, let us take an example that I am taking metformin. Metformin is, as we all know, it is used in diabetes. So it is a drug which is, the normal dose is 500 mg, right? So if a patient is taking metformin in 1500 mg of dose, that is a very high dose. Obviously a normal dose is 500, he is taking thrice the dose. So if in that dose the patient experiences hypoglycemic shock, then that is not an adverse drug reaction, it is just simple overdosing. It is what? It is overdosing, right? Because the dose is very much high. So the reaction which is produced because of the high dose is not ADR, it is overdosing. So the reaction which is produced at a normal dose, for example, I would say if the patient is facing hypoglycemic shock at 500 mg of metformin, then that is not something that is right. Now this is what is an ADR. It is the reaction, it is an unintended, noxious, we do not want hypoglycemic shock, it is obviously causing problem. Moreover, it is occurring at a dose which is normal, it is occurring at 500 mg, right? So again, 3 important things that have to be always kept in mind when remembering the definition of ADR is that, first of all, it is noxious, second is it is unintended, we did not want it, third, it is occurring at a dose which is normally given to human beings. So this is what ADR is. Again, to recap, it is a unintended noxious reaction which is because of a drug and is occurring at a dose which is normally given to human beings, right? So now let us move on to the classification of adverse drug reaction. So as you can see, the classification can be done on a number of bases. First, we will start with the onset of event. Onset of event, as the name suggests, onset means when the event is starting, when the reaction is starting. It is, in short, it is based upon time. It is based upon what? It is based upon time. So at what time the reaction is starting? So we have acute. Acute are those reactions which occur within 60 minutes. That means which occurs within 1 hour. Like if I have taken the medication at, let us say, 10 am in the morning, and the reaction occurs with before 11 am, before 1 hour, that reaction is called as an acute ADR, acute adverse drug reaction. It is called as what? It is called as an acute adverse drug reaction, right? Now these, for example, we can take here that the anaphylactic shock which is obtained, which is observed because of penicillin, it does not happen after 3 days or 4 days, it happens quickly, it happens on spot, it happens within 60 minutes. So that reaction is called what? It is a acute reaction, followed by subacute reactions. So these reactions take a little bit more than 60 minutes. They take from, we can classify them as 1 to 24 hours. If the reaction is occurring between 1 to 24 hours of the administration of drug, then that reaction is called as what? It is called as subacute reaction. Moving on to the latent reaction. So latent reaction are, again, as you can always remember, these are the mnemonics. L is late. So it is late, as you can see we have late here in the name only. So these are late reactions which occur after 2 days, 2 or more days. So any reaction which is occurring after 2 or more days of the administration of drug is called as a latent adverse drug reaction. Now the type of reactions. Now as you can see we have type A, B, C, D, E, and then again we have another one which is type F. Type F reactions. So type A reactions are augmented reactions. Augmented means that augmented, it is a simple English word which means increased. So the reaction which is being here, the reaction which is being produced here is increased pharmacological action. Okay. And then we have type B reaction, bizarre. Bizarre means strange, weird. So these are the reactions which we cannot even imagine happening. So these are the bizarre reactions. Then we have type C reactions. Type C reactions are called either chemical or they are also called as chronic reactions. They are also called as chronic reactions. Then we have delayed reaction which occur after a lot number of time, after a good period of administration of drug, they occur. So they are called as what? Type D reactions. Then we have type E. E is exit or end of therapy, or end of therapy of reaction. So whenever a drug is being withdrawal, a drug is being removed from the body, and if some reaction occurs, then we call it as what? We call it as type E reaction. Then we have type F. Type F stands for failure of therapy. Type F reactions occur and they are called as what? Failure of therapy. If the drug which we have administered is not able to produce the said reaction, it is called as type F reaction. Now based on the severity of the ADR, we can classify these adverse drug reaction as minor, moderate, severe and lethal. So now let us talk about minor reaction. So minor reaction are, as the name suggests, they are very mild, right? And they are mild in a way that, let us take an example, that a patient suffers from headache and it goes on its own, right? He doesn't need to take a medication for it, right? So this is a mild reaction, nothing very big happened, and the side effect or the adverse reaction disappeared on its own. So that was a very minor reaction or a mild reaction. If a reaction is moderate reaction are those reaction which requires changing of pharmacotherapy. We either have to stop the drug, or we have to decrease the dose, or we have to just withdraw the drug from the body, or we have to administer some antagonist. So these are moderate kind of reactions. Then we have severe reaction. Severe reaction are those reaction which obviously needs changing of pharmacotherapy, which also requires admission into the hospital, followed by it causes some permanent damage in the body. These severe reaction cause some permanent damage in the body. So these type of reaction are called as severe reaction. For example, if any drug is causing, let us say, blindness, and blindness cannot be reversed back, so that is a severe adverse drug reaction. Now moving on to the lethal reaction. Now as the name suggests, lethality, they cause simple death. A patient died. Why? Because of a adverse drug reaction. So these are obviously the most severe case of adverse drug reaction. Now moving on to the other class. First we have side effects. So what are side effects? Side effects are any untoward, but they often occur, and we do not want these kind of reaction. Obviously nobody wants side effect, but they do occur. So again, a side effect, whatever the effect is being occurred and the intended pharmacological action are always weighed together. So the pharmacological action which we want is way high than as compared to the side effect. So for example, the side effect of atropine would be dryness of mouth. Atropine is a parasympathetic drug. So what side effect does it cause? It causes dryness of mouth. Now moving on to the secondary effect. So a secondary effect is the effect which is produced after the drug. Now to understand this, we will take the example of tetracycline. Now as we all know, tetracycline is what? It is a antibiotic, right? So it produces its antibiotic reaction, and it further, what does it cause? So we all know that the very basic side effect of any antibiotic is diarrhea. So how does it cause diarrhea? It disturbs the GI flora, right? Now because this tetracycline disturbs the GI flora, so there is a whole disturbance in the flora, and this causes super infection. Now the super infection because of tetracycline is a secondary effect. It is a secondary effect. Again, this is also classification of adverse drug reaction. Now moving on to the third type, that is carcinogenicity. As the name suggests, the ability of the drug to cause cancer is called as carcinogenicity. So again, there are chances that the important thing to note about carcinogenicity is that it takes almost 10 to 40 years to develop. So this is a very delayed or latent type of adverse drug reaction which takes almost 10 to 40 years to develop. Then we have intolerance. Intolerance is simply can be defined as a drug allergy or a hypersensitivity reaction. Again, the classical example is of penicillin that gives anaphylactic shock to the patient. So that is an intolerant. The body cannot tolerate that drug. Even small doses, the body cannot even tolerate the small dose of the drug. right? Then we have idiosyncratic reaction. So what are idiosyncratic reaction? These are the reactions which are because of the genetic disorders, which are because of the genetic causes. So we actually does not specifically know what has caused the reaction, but these are again because of the genetics. Then we have drug allergy, it is same as intolerance. Then we have teratogenicity. Now teratogenicity is an important type of adverse drug reaction. In this reaction, if a pregnant female takes some sort of medication and the effect is shown on the baby which is being born. Now the classical example of teratogenicity is of the thalidomide tragedy, It is of the thalidomide tragedy, where a number of pregnant females took thalidomide drug for the treatment of their morning sickness, and when their baby was born, each of the child was suffering from a disease which is called as phocomelia. The disease which is called as what? It is called as phocomelia. So each and every born baby was suffering from phocomelia because of the thalidomide which the mother took during her pregnancy. So these effects are called as what? Teratogenic effects. Then we have mutagenic effects. So what are mutagenic effects? So these are the effects which causes mutation, which causes genetic disorders in a human being. So any mutation that has occurred. So what are the drugs that can cause mutagenicity? So these are like tobacco. Then we have estrogen. We have radioisotopes that can cause mutagenic effects. Now let us take this type of reactions in detail. So we will discuss these reactions in detail. So let us start with the type A reaction. So type A reaction, as the name suggests, are augmented reaction. Augmented reaction. Now augmented word in itself means increased. It means what? It means increased. That means the reaction is increased. Increased what? So increased pharmacological action. So what are the pharmacological actions? So again, drug, for example, let us take an example of anti-hypoglycemic drug. So we have insulin, right? So what does insulin do? Insulin decreases the amount of glucose that is present in the blood. So this is the normal response of glucose. So what is the normal response? Normal response is to decrease the amount of glucose that is present in the blood. That is, it causes hypoglycemia. That is a normal response. So an increased normal response is what? It will cause severe hypoglycemia. The body will go into hypoglycemic shock. So again, these can be predicted. Now because we know the pharmacology of the drug, thereby we can predict the whatever the reaction that might occur. Again, these are dose dependent, right? And they can be alleviated by dose reduction. We will discuss about the dose reduction in detail. So let us first take the examples. We have anticoagulants, which stops the bleeding, and if these anticoagulants causes bleeding, then they are augmented pharmacological reactions. Then we have beta blockers, which cause bradycardia. We have nitrates, which cause headache. Then we have prazosin, which cause postural hypotension. Now the postural hypotension because of prazosin is a very famous adverse drug reaction. This is very common. Now what is postural hypotension, if I may ask? Now as you can see, postural comes from the word posture. So whenever a patient is changing his or her posture, the blood pressure drops. Blood pressure significantly drops, and this drop in blood pressure causes the patient to feel dizzy. Feel what? Feel dizzy. The patient would come into the clinical setting with the symptom of chakkar aa rahe hain. Okay, so that symptom, that is postural hypotension. A simple way of diagnosing postural hypotension is what we do in the hospital is that we take the blood pressure of a patient before we ask him to lay down. So we take the blood pressure. For example, it is coming out to be, let us say it is coming out to be 120/80. This is a normal blood pressure, right? Then we ask the patient to lay down. Now he lays for around 10 to 15 minutes. Then we ask him to get up, and as soon as he get up, we again take the blood pressure. So if the decrease is of 3 units, more than 3 units, let us say when he got up, the blood pressure was around almost 115/75. So this was a 5 unit decrease, right? So this was a 5 unit decrease, and then we can say that yes, the patient is actually suffering from postural hypertension, because when he changed the posture, there was a good amount of dip in the blood pressure. So this postural hypertension adverse drug reaction is seen quite frequently in prazosin. Now the thing is that augmented reactions, because the pharmacological action is just simply increased, so what we can do is to eliminate this reaction, we decrease the dose. Like if a normal dose of any drug is, let us say it is 500 mg, it is producing a normal effect in any human being, but now in this specific human being 500 mg is producing a very high or augmented response. Then what do we do is, we, instead of giving 500 mg, we give 100 mg, and then we get the normal response which was supposed to get at 500 mg. So again, dose reduction can produce decrease the augmented reaction which one faces. Now moving on to the type B reaction. Type B reaction are again called as bizarre reaction. Bizarre simply means weird or strange. Now these are strange reactions. Strange in a sense that we did not expect them to happen. We cannot predict them. They cannot be predicted. Like in the case of augmented reaction, we can predict them, that what would happen. If I am giving an antihypertensive drug, it will cause severe hypotension. Now that it can be predicted, but these bizarre reactions cannot be predicted, right? These are neither dose dependent. These reactions are not dose dependent. The only way to stop the bizarre reaction is to withdraw the drug. It is to what? It is to withdraw the drug. The only way to stop this reaction is by what? Is by withdrawing the drug, right? The type B reaction are very rare. Again, these reactions occur very rarely, but the chances of mortality, they occur very rarely, but the chances of mortality are high. What do I say when I mean mortality? Mortality means death. The chances of mortality are high. Whereas, let us compare this with type A reaction. In type A reaction, almost 80% of the individual, faces these type A reactions, right? But again, if we will talk about mortality and morbidity, the chances of morbidity, just a second. The chances of morbidity are high, but the chances of mortality are low. What do I say when I say that the chances of morbidity are high and chances of mortality are low? Morbidity is the ability of anything to cause a disease. So again, the type A reactions will cause morbidity and the chances are also high, but will it cause death, mortality? The chances are very low. Whereas on comparing it with type B reactions, the chances of mortality are very high. It will directly cause death. It occurs rarely and it will cause death, right? Example, again, the classical example is penicillin causing anaphylactic shock. Now type C reactions, these are chronic reactions, or we can also call them as chemical reaction. We can also call them as what? Chemical reaction. Now these reactions occur, why? Because the pharmacokinetics of the drug, the pharmacokinetics of the drug, that is ADME. What is ADME? ADME is absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion, did not happen as we planned it to happen, right? Now because let us talk about the metabolism and excretion for a while. Now let us take the example of paracetamol as it is written here. Paracetamol did not get metabolized, or it did not get excreted out of the body as we have expected it to do. So what does happen? It gets accumulated in the body. It gets collected in the body at a place. And where does that happen? It happens in liver. So because of the presence of large amount of paracetamol in the liver, it causes what? It causes hepatotoxicity, and it happens for over a long period of time. So that is what? That is a chronic type of reaction. Now moving on to the delayed type of reaction, as the name suggests, delayed reaction. Delayed is that happens over a period of time, that will occur after a period of time. So why does this happen? Again, it is because of the accumulation, like we talked in last slide. It is because of the accumulation, that is collection of the drug metabolite in the body. So what happens is delayed reaction. Chemotherapy, why do we take chemotherapy? To treat cancer. So again, the secondary effect, the delayed reaction, is that the patient develops secondary tumor. The tumor relapses. The term that is used is relapse. The term that is used is relapse. The tumor relapses. That means it comes over again. After taking chemotherapy, it comes again. So that is called as what? It is called as a relapse. It is called as a secondary tumor. This is a delayed reaction. Again, we talked about this phenytoin and thalidomide in the last slides. So if a pregnant female is taking a drug, let us say she is taking a drug in the second trimester, right, and the baby is produced obviously after the 9 months. So during that period, so it qualifies as a delayed reaction. A thalidomide tragedy, we have talked about the teratogenic effect that are being produced in the females, the effect which are produced by the fetus, the presence of phocomelia, the limb defect and the organ dysplasia are all the kind of teratogenic effects that are seen when a pregnant female takes up thalidomide or takes phenytoin in case, right. Antipsychotic drugs over a long period of time, when they are given on a regular basis, it causes tardive dyskinesia in patients. Again, analgesics causes nephropathy. Let us move on to the type E reaction, that is end of treatment reaction. So what occurs? End of treatment, whenever I say end of treatment, that means that the patient is now cured, right. The patient is now cured and now there is no need to take more medication. So we have to stop the medication, but can we stop those medication like in a bit? It should not be stopped abruptly. These medications should not be stopped abruptly. What happens? Body gets used to the medication. Now that is the issue, right. If a patient is, let us say, suffering from epilepsy, right, he or she is facing seizure, he has this habit of facing seizures, and let us say after a time the patient gets cured of epilepsy, although it doesn't happen very easily. So when the patient gets cured of epilepsy, so can we remove the phenytoin quickly, abruptly? Now, okay, wow, today there is no more seizure, let us stop the medication. We cannot do that, because in that case the medication, because of the sudden withdrawal of the medication, seizures might reappear. So in that cases, or in all of these cases, what we have to do, we have to taper off the dose. We have to taper off the dose. We have to taper off the dose. When I say tapering off the dose, that means if in the first week, if I am giving 4 mg of the drug to the patient, then I have to continue that dose for at least 2 more weeks. Followed by, then I will decrease the dose. I will give 3 mg for next 2 weeks. Then I will give 2 mg. Then I will give 1 mg. In this way, I will decrease the dose till the time I am lastly I am giving the patient a placebo. So he doesn't know that he is getting a drug or not. So this is how you stop the end of treatment reaction, end of treatment type of adverse drug reaction, right. Now moving on to the last type of reaction, that are type F reaction. Now the type F reaction are what? They are failure of therapy. That means I have given the drug, but the drug is not working. Now why is that happening? There are a number of reasons for that. Let us take the example of contraceptives. Now contraceptives are taken to stop the unplanned pregnancies. Now if a patient is taking, if a female is taking contraceptive and she is also taking a drug that is, let us say, enzyme inducer. Now she is also taking a drug that is enzyme inducer. So what will this enzyme inducer do? This enzyme inducer will increase the metabolism of this contraceptive, which will lead to contraceptive failure. That will lead to contraception failure, which again might cause pregnancy. So this is the type F or reaction. This is a type F ADR reactions. And with that, I would like to end the presentation. So in this presentation we have talked about what are ADRs, we have identified that what is the definition of ADRs, and we have also talked about the different classes of ADRs including type A, B, C, D, E and F. Thank you.